What's up, my brother? Short Porch Rep right there. And now I'll get it started. Start talking. I don't want to run them no hour and a half anymore. A lot of people don't engage, I guess, as much. I miss that all the time, but I do clean it up later. Guys on Facebook, as you can see on YouTube, this is a badass app, and I get it for free. You can get it for free, but it's Prism, and you can download it onto your phone or your desktop on your computer, your laptop, I should say. So, and it's pretty badass. It's clear. I ran it today when we were doing compression testing, and I ran it. What's up, Trey? What's up, guys? I ran it today when I was doing compression testing at the field, and that's something that we're going to start doing is compression testing after we hit. That way, you get the journey of how we're doing this and how fast these bats are breaking down. Now, I don't know how much that can actually tell you because we're not swinging the same way you would swing it, so it would break down a little different than what you would be swinging it because of the bat speed that all of my guys have. You know, I got 7 guys showing up, and then I have Murray, and I got Clem, and I got Charlie Mueller, got high bat speed. You know, I'm in the middle there. Trey's in the middle top, somewhere around there. So everybody's got a different. You know, we had Danny come out today. You'll see that video later on. I haven't cut it up yet, but Danny came out today and he swung with us. He's got another different type of bat speed, and he's quick. You know, he's not he's 49, going to be 50 this year, next month. Very compact swing. Probably weighs about 170 pounds, probably. Tall, not tall, but, 5'10", 5'11". And I played with him and against him 30 years ago, and a guy could hit the aluminum day bats, and he can hit him out with aluminum. Not a very big guy either, too. So he's gonna come out every once in a while, not a lot. The problem with doing this, and I talked to the guys today, is problem with doing what we're doing now. It's not like what we used to do. It's different now. Nobody can just get up and walk on and start hitting with us, and we were kind of limited in the past on how we would bring people in, and they'd have to be vetted. And just because we're doing a bunch of live, and I work for Short Porch now, so I can't have a lot of. I'm going to show you a bat later on, and basically it'll sum up what I'm talking about. Why we can't do this anymore, about having just guys come in and just hit with us, especially on certain days. Now, there's going to be some days where we can do it, and then I'd have to put out, hey, you guys want to come by and do like a demo day, and just swing nothing but short porch. But that's in the future. Right now, before the end of the year, and again, I'll show you later on why we can't have that. We can't have just people coming in. And for one, I don't trust anybody, and especially with working for this company. We're gonna be doing a lot of not a lot. Christian does a lot of it too. Is research and development. So when we're out there hitting and talking about the performance on bats, and I don't know if that, I'm going to kind of play it by ear on that research and development if it's going to get out there, because in the past 15 years, I would have bats come in. Just recently, about 3 months ago, a bat company came in and did some R&D, got some video up, and I took that video down because I'm not part of Senior Softball Bat Reviews anymore. And I work for another company, so I cannot promote any other company that you guys have asked me, why did you take everything down? Because I don't do that anymore. I work for Short Porch. So it's going to be strictly just Short Porch from here on out. To my surprise, I haven't lost a lot of viewers on YouTube. There has been a drop, but not as big. I thought it was going to be 1,000 people that actually got off on my YouTube channel, and it hasn't been. It's probably been around 100 out of that. So I'm grateful for that, and guys are sticking around. But I do offer a lot more on that YouTube channel though too. So the few things that I am going on, and I'm kind of rambling here before a lot of people actually get up here. I'm going to have to mess around with this for the next couple of days on this app, because when I first started it, I got the count. The count was up here on the left-hand side, and I can see how many people are on YouTube and how many people are on Facebook. I get a lot of people replying now, which actually helps me out, but I cannot see the count on how many people I have going here, and I like seeing that. On my Facebook account, basically I'm trying to build that up, because if you guys remember last year I had mine deleted for some reason. I have no idea, and they did not tell me, because I put in a request to get it reestablished, and they haven't contacted me back, and that's been 6 months, 8 months ago that happened, and somebody reported me, or I have no idea, because I don't put out bad shit. I'm not political. I don't put out political shit, so I don't trash anybody. So I don't know how that happened. I do know that once I joined Meta in that business account, I started having different shit come up. So I don't do that no more. I'm not part of Meta anymore. Basically just running. I think I've got 2,000 subscribers maybe right now. So I'm trying to build this channel up to where it was before at 5,000, and get a lot more people watching. Somebody was asking last week, you had some feedback on the camera. I do have a fan over here, and when I was listening to the video again, I can hear that. I have a fan over here, so the fan was going. So when I was listening back, I could hear that fan going. YouTube has changed. It's Short Porch right now on my old YouTube channel. It was Senior Softball Bat Reviews. Now it's YouTube. And I took away all the monetizing stuff, like all the commercials. Those are gone. So everything I put on YouTube channel, actually, it's commercial free from the beginning to the end. And I think that would, because I don't need to have paid advertising on that anymore. So I'd help. I think that's one of the biggest complaints I had on YouTube is people got tired of clicking off commercials. And I even get tired of it too when I'm watching a long podcast, is clicking off the commercials. And I understand why they do it, because they can make money off that, but I don't need to make money off that YouTube channel. My membership channel has changed. It doesn't have 3 tiers anymore. It actually has 1 tier. It's the lowest tier. So I've moved everything from those top 2 tiers onto that low tier. You can get, pay a membership fee every month, and it's a low, $5, $4.95 or something like that, or 99 cents. And you can get on that and get all that other weightlifting and supplements that are on that part of that YouTube channel. Instagram, I'm going to start doing shorts on Instagram. And just within the last month, I decided to do it. I'm going to go into something here in a minute, and it's, that fan is not on. It's getting hot in here. Instagram, I'm going to start doing shorts on Instagram and TikTok. So I'm going to do a lot more advertising. And that's, the one thing that I talk to a lot of guys about is about advertising. If you're going to do any kind of social media stuff, you have to advertise. And you've got to read the room, basically. And a lot of people will understand that you have to read the room. People are not engaging. People are not engaging in the pros, the guys that just came off of Major League, and there's a few of those guys have done that in the past years, and then start playing softball and just representing a bat or a bat company, and out there just hitting bombs. What I think, and this has been a transition through the last few years, is the majority of people out there playing our sport in senior ball is not those guys. So they're bat, and it's kind of funny, which I do want, and I don't want them to, I want to see more podcasts of getting a lot of these people's, what they think about medium, slow, and fast bat speeds. And I'm kind of listening a little bit to them, because I do kind of jump on a lot of channels out there and I listen to what they have to say. I want to thank Adam I did watch his podcast last week on YouTube. If you guys can get a hold of YouTube and get on Fat Guy BP, start joining that channel over there. Marcus has another channel out there that the chef has another channel out there that actually is blown up. And I think what has happened was a lot of my guys that actually would watch me have gotten off my channel and went over to those two guys' channels. And I think that's awesome. I want to see more bat review guys out there. I want to see more podcasts out there to get the information out, and information is key, guys. You guys, the one thing you have to do, and that I did years ago, is you got to believe in your information and your movement, is what we call it. Is you got to believe in that and you got to run with it. You're going to get hammered at the beginning, but later on, you understand that people are starting to jump on board. What I see nowadays, nobody's watching the pros hit anymore because they know that they can't do that. They know that they can't swing like them because these are ex-major league players or they're ex-pro players from back in the day, and they were hitting aluminum bats 450 feet. So now they're going to come over and grab a composite bat that is and I'm not downing those guys. I'm really not. It's just the movement has, they're picking up a composite bats at the senior bat and they're hitting them 450 feet again in their 50s or late 40s, and what I see now is a lot of the seniors out there are realizing that, okay, that's great advertisement for you, but I'm not going to listen to you, I like to see the bat review guys that are not the pros, because a lot of the AA and a lot of AAA people out there want knowledge. They want to know, they want to understand, that's how come I have such a big platform, because, and most of my guys, if you look at my demographics, it's 55s, 60s, and 65s. And next is 70s. And then it goes down to 40s and 45s and 50s. That's it goes down to, because when you do analytics on YouTube, you can find out all this information. Especially if you have a YouTube channel, you can find out even the women. I have 1% women on my YouTube channel. It used to be 9. So now I have 1, and hopefully that will build up after we talk about all these women's bats that are going to be coming out with Short Porch. These softer barrel bats too. And I'll get into that later on, but TikTok is going to be shorts. Instagram is going to be shorts. Rumble, I am getting a channel on Rumble mainly for my podcast that I'm going to have coming out every Wednesday. And like clockwork, guys, I'm going to try to do it on 7:30 Texas time every Wednesday. And I think that's a good time because my East Coast guys can actually see it. And I think they're an hour in front of me. And then on my West Coast guys, they can actually look at it because it's on their way home from work, I guess, so they can listen to it. Because basically all you have to do is just turn it on. You can listen to it on your way home. So yes, I think what's happening, and I've seen this, is back in the day, you used to have all these posters out of these big softball players, and they'd be having a bat in their hand. And I think what is happening now is people realizing that, hey, that bat doesn't fit my swing. So why would I, with your 100 and something mile an hour bat speed, why would I swing that bat? When mine is like 70, and there is a big difference. A lot of people don't. A lot of the other bat companies, because I've heard them say it, don't believe in the low bat speed. They don't believe in the medium bat speed, the high bat speed, or maybe they just don't want to agree with it because, it's nothing that they actually came up with. So it would be, why are they jumping on board with the movement whenever they didn't start the movement? Short Porch started the movement, right? Because they're the ones that came out with the small, medium, and fast bat speed. And I talked Charlie a little bit today, and Murray and all my guys. I told them it's going to take a while, but what you'll understand is, hey, it works for you. What you'll understand too is, because we do have diminishing bat speed, they don't. There's a lot more AA and AAA. When we go to Vegas, go look at the AAA. How many guys you have hitting in AAA? How many teams you have in AAA? Or how many guys you have in AAA? I mean, they pack 15 to 20 guys on a team there, and all of them, are swinging bats that don't fit their swing. I know, guys, I walk in your dugout. I look at your dugout. I see what you got swinging. And I just walk out there shaking my head, you know, like, okay, I know this whole team does not swing that bat right there, you know, or comparable to that bat, because that bat does not even go close to your swing. I made the mistake last week of telling guys, if I saw your swing, I can get you in a bat. And I started getting, you know, a few guys sending me videos of their swing, and I tried to answer them as much as I could. And I didn't answer a few of them because I got a lot of stuff, and I get that squirrel moment, right, where, damn, I need to go back and do that. I have a grandson that was born last week, so I've been busy doing that. Matthias David Christensen. He was born a little early, 3 weeks early, and he's a little underweight, but they're getting him up there and a healthy baby. So I'm happy for that. My first grandson. My daughter is up in Vegas, so her husband's in the military, at the Air Force Base there. My wife is there with them. She'll be back in another week and a half, so I can run this podcast as long as I want tonight. I won't get in trouble, but I don't want to keep it long. And again, Rumble, I'm going to expand. And I was talking to some guys, and they're asking me, how do I get this started? If I wanted to be a bat review person, what do I have to do? I said, for one, you have to be bold. You can't lie. And you have to put your ass on the line, because you're going to get criticized for your swing. You're going to criticize for all this other shit out there, you know. And mainly, a lot of the bat manufacturers out there will have trolls, and they will troll you, and they will call you out. You know, I've had it done to me, and you guys have seen it. I've laid it on out there at the line, and don't put up with it. Actually talk back to them up to a point. You know, if they begin to be so bad, you ask them, where is your video? You know, let's see you hitting. Put your ass on the line and get out there and hit. So you got to have thick skin, for one. Don't bend the knee. That's another thing, too. I know they send you free stuff. I know they do, because they did it to me. But when I didn't bend the knee because they were sending me free stuff, I didn't get any free stuff anymore. So you got to have deep pockets. See, and that's so hard with a lot of, because they have jobs. A lot of these bat review guys have jobs. And I think their wife will get a little mad, or their significant other would get a little mad if they were out spending money on bats that they could not afford. I just so happened to have deep pockets years ago. When I first started, my wife had a very good job with the San Antonio Spurs. So I could afford a lot of those bats. Whenever I was denied after the first time didn't succeed with a bat company, I actually bought all my stuff. So yes, you got to have deep pockets, or have somebody like I tell these bat review people too, is, you know, you got to get your viewership up. You got to talk to people. You got to have charisma. You got to be able to, and it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Just talk. And if you have knowledge about something, people will understand that. They will see that, and they will resonate to that, you know, and believe in what you're talking about. Because if you don't believe what you're talking about, they're gonna hammer you, man. They're gonna hammer you pretty bad. And don't engage in. This is the hardest part about doing what I first started doing is, Charlie, you kind of jumped in there. The hardest part is not replying to the assholes out there that were actually talking shit. That was the hardest part for me to do, because I'm like, I don't let anybody talk to my guys, for one, or just say stuff. I got to pop back on them. Then I realized that, hey, they're just trolls. You know, they're trying to get underneath your skin. Charlie, look at this, Charlie. I found this when I got home. You're talking about 50-50 cotton. You like cotton shirts? This, I'm going to send you this. You see this? I'm going to send that one to you. But it's a large. And if you lost 10 pounds, so this ought to fit you, Charlie. I found that when I got home, because I know Clem and Trey didn't pop off and say anything when we were eating breakfast this morning about they had an extra large in their truck. And I guarantee they won't wear that thing, because they got this is a XX. I know you can't handle that one. But Clem and Trey took the other extra large, and they didn't say anything when you were talking about that's the shirt that you liked this morning when we were having breakfast. Anyway, put your ass on the line, get out there and do it. You'll find out that you'll have a bigger following. than you would of the trolls that are out there. And you're actually you're bonding with a lot of the people out there that want to have that knowledge and talk about what kind of bat. Or we have a movement here, right? Short Porch has a movement here that we're going in. And we got together and we talked about this, but we think in the future, this is going to be the way seniors start picking bats. Now, U-Trip is going to be different, guys, because a lot of people in U-Trip already have that 90 mile an hour, that 85 mile an hour bat speed. So this is a movement for the seniors, you know, and I think it's going to grow. I think it's going to get bigger. It's already huge, and just hang on, because it's going to get really big in the next couple of years. And every few months, they're going to have different technology coming out. And I'll explain to you about what I'm talking about. Listen to what I'm talking about at the end of the video. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about Short Porch and what they want to do. And I joined this about a month ago. Actually, it was about a little over a month ago. And I joined this company, and they're already wowing me because of the bat that I got in the mail today. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So, on this Facebook page, I have a Short Porch group. I want you guys to go over and join that. It's that Short Porch group. I do put a lot of videos. I don't put a lot of videos on my personal page. I will, but most of my videos go on that Short Porch page, and there's two of them. The Short Porch page that I have, it's under my name for one. It's all capital. And go over there and join that. I do have a senior softball buy, sell, and trade that Patty Albright still manages. And I have 100% confidence in her. She's one of those people that, you know, she doesn't care who I'm with or what I'm doing. And I didn't do with her, but she does Suncoast stuff. So she actually watches that page, make sure there's no scammers on there. What I will say about that page too, it's Senior Softball Buy, Sell, and Trade. We don't run bat raffles on it. I'm not a big believer in bat raffles. I get pissed when everybody tags me in bat raffles because I've been screwed on a bat raffle. So I'm not a big believer in bat raffles. And it was from a Senior Softball Buy, Sell, and Trade page from someone out there. And I got hammered. Actually, people were coming to my defense and go, well, he put the number down there first, because I called my number and I put my number down and they gave it to someone else. Anyway, and then they gave my money back saying, okay, you don't need the bat anyway. But I don't care at this point. I just don't do it, and I don't want to do it. But you have to answer the questions. If you want to join that channel, it is a private channel. You have to answer the questions in that channel, because there is a ton of scammers out there, guys. I mean, a ton. I get a lot of people message me on the side going, you know this guy, he's part of your friend. And I actually just got to stop what I'm doing, do research on that guy, and then message him back. I said, okay, he's good to go, you know, on that buy, sell, and trade channel. And that's just something that I know, since I have the channel, I have to do. Compression testing after we hit. That's another thing too I talked about earlier. Compression testing after we hit. We're going to start doing it every week now. I will run compression testing either after we hit, because guys, the guys who were there today, that took a long time to do compression testing, and then Clem. And then again, I got hammered because Clem was pointing sorry Clem, but you're pointing the camera down at the tailgate. So everybody going, nice tailgate. Now my tailgate's dirty. I mean, it's a work truck. So my tailgate's dirty, and everybody's going, nice tailgate, because Clem didn't have the camera up. He would put it up whenever we're doing a compression testing, but that was it. And I did a lot of bat stay. So it's either going to be ran at my house whenever I have a tripod like this thing's on right now, and I'll run it like that. But guarantee I will have a compression testing down. And if you guys listen to when we did that compression testing today, you guys listen, because Trey wanted to know, because he was hitting his bat really good today, and it was getting there, and he wanted to see what the numbers were on the compression test. Murray too wanted to see what his numbers were on that white wig popper, which he took home, that white wig popper today that we were hitting, which is actually a very good bat. Just takes a little longer to get there than the red one, but it still gets there. and he loved that bat. So he wanted to know the numbers on that bat, and that's the movement. That's when I talk about the movement right here. That's what I talk about. It's the movement where you're going to start matching weight distribution. You're going to start. Where did I get my compression tester? I did not get the compression tester. Jeff did. So Jeff sent it to me, and I didn't ask any questions. He said he was getting me one, and apparently he had it built, right? Because they're just not sitting on a shelf. You actually have to order them, and they build them. So on the 5th day of every month or something like that. So he actually he does that. I got a compression tester. I'm going to use it, and basically to see how the bats are broke down, how all the bats are broke down, and how long it takes them. Now here's another thing too. Don't just because we get a bat within 100, 150 swings, 200 swings, and a compression test at that number, that doesn't mean anything with you. That's just what a compression test at our guys that are hitting, because we got so many guys that are different bat speeds. So don't look too far into that. What I want to do is, when we're at the time where the bat is performing at its peak level, how long does it stay at that compression, and when does it drop off? And each bat is different because they got hard barrel, and they got medium barrel, and they have soft barrels. So each bat is different when it talks about that compression. I talked about on those compression testing, I'm probably going to do them at home mainly, because I want the guys to get out of the heat and go in, and we usually have breakfast, and we just talk about what bats we're hitting during the day and what we think about them. We need more podcast pros, guys out there talking, and I did go off on a rant earlier about the pros, but I do think that they serve a purpose, and they can spread some knowledge because they've been there and done that. And a lot of is there anybody on Facebook chiming in? I get a little nervous now that it doesn't do anything. So somebody say something on Facebook, or I'm not going to talk about all this stuff. I will get off this app, and I will go to Facebook Live. Clem, you still there? Yes, there you go. Compression testing again. I'm going back. We need more podcasts out there. All these guys that run their podcasts. I would like to see a podcast 7 days out of the week. And if you can do, twice a day, like finding out you can go one right after the other. And the problem with the longevity, a lot of guys will do the podcast and then they'll get off. Jaeger, I see your name up there. You're giving us hell about this bat. So there you go. Just got it in today. 27 ounce. That bat is good. That bat, we had it. We had it when it first came out. We used it. Awesome bat. Got about 700 swings on it, and it got a seam on it. A little bitty sharp tooth. So we already used it. The video is going to be out. The videos might be already out there. No, I'll probably have that video. We probably have that video somewhere, and I got it cut up. I just got to put it out, but I wanted this one before I put it out because I do talking after the videos. More podcasts, guys. A lot of guys out there throwing their information out there, but talk about Vegas. Whoo! I'm looking at my timer, I guess. Talk about Vegas. We will be in Vegas. Clem will be in Vegas so many days out of the week. Trey will be in Vegas so many days out of the week. And we're going to be at the tent. I'm going to be at a couple of tents. I think I'm going to be at, because we're going to have 2 tents up there. So Phantom Sports will be there. They will be working a tent. I will kind of go between Short Porch's tent and Phantom Sports people over there, because we're going to be working 2 different areas. So I'll be at Big League Dreams, and I will be at wherever they're going to be, because there's going to be like 5 different places on each day on where they're going to be. Not on each day, but they're going to be one place one day. The next group comes in, they're going to be another place. So kind of move them around like that and kind of get a feel. I would rather than being at the AA and the AAA and the ladies, basically, because believe guys, you're not going to sell a lot of bats at the Major Plus, the Major Plus tents. You're not. They get their bats given to them, and there a lot of those guys are sponsored by a bat company, or they are sponsored by a bat company, and you're not going to sell a lot of products. You will sell a lot of products at the AA and AAA. Major a little bit less, and then on your Major Plus, you're not going to sell anything. I don't see how anybody could set up, and that's just experience of what I've experienced through the years. But nobody's at their tents. The ladies will come by and the ladies tent and buy bats, because a lot of those ladies are not sponsored by bat companies too. So those people will come in there and buy bats and talk. The biggest talk people, the biggest when I'm setting at a tent, it was actually at Patty Albright's tent, and I had a crowd. There was another tent last year, not last year, year before, that I sat at, and they were playing Major and AAA at this area, and I got a lot of people coming by and just talking to me about bats and picking my brain. So I will be at Short Porch this year, guys. They will have a demo day too, and I'll be there from beginning to the end. But they'll have a demo day there too. The 60s, 65, and 70s. Let me clarify that it's going to be on September 16th on a Monday at noon. So we're going to be at the managers meetings all those times too, setting up and just sitting in there and talking to people. For once, I've been going to those managers meetings for 15 years now, and I really do enjoy them. I like getting out there, and it's you can walk around and look at all the new product that's coming out, and then just talk to people. And the one thing I want you guys to do, and this is another thing too. What I want you guys to do in that AAA and that AA, talk to people, pick their brain, see if they're just a car salesperson, or they know actually what they're talking about. Because me and the guys talked about this. Murray, is Facebook still down? Is Facebook still down? Somebody reply, because Murray just said Facebook was down. It's not down. Okay, Murray probably moved over there earlier. He hasn't got back yet. So, so we're going to have demo day, and that's going to be awesome, because we'll be doing Facebook Live on demo day and just hitting a lot of bats. The one thing that we are going to hit, well, I shouldn't even be saying this. I'm not going to say this, because I need to stop giving out information on how to do a demo day, because I think a lot of people out there don't know how to do a demo day, and I do. So, Jeff does, and Christian does, and Leslie does. So I don't want to say it, because a lot of companies will actually take that knowledge and claim it as being their own and get out there and do it. But there's going to be a pretty badass demo day. We're going to have a lot of bats there at Vegas on that demo day. Last week, I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit too, because I am running late, and I am going to run it over tonight as long as I can hold up. If I get kicked off Facebook again, I'm going to go to the regular Facebook and just do Facebook, and get off that app. I haven't had an outage with Facebook other than the app, and I do love the app. It's just that for some reason, and it might be reception in this one area inside my little man cave, 10 by 10 man cave here, because I'm up against the wall right here. So I probably got to move that booster in here somehow. Last week we were talking about the energy drinks, about what to consume during the day. A lot of you guys drink energy drinks or Gatorades, Pedialyte. Stay away from that shit. The one thing about, not because of the caffeine that's in the Gatorade or Pedialyte, it's basically the sugar content that actually raises your insulin level. So you get tired. Every time you do a big insulin spike, you get tired. About 20, 30 minutes, especially when you get older. Like you give kids candy, and they start just going everywhere. Basically the same thing happens to us, but we get that big spike in insulin, and we get that big drop. It's got to go lower than what it started at, right? Because you got that big spike. So stay away from sugars, right? Another thing too is I'm going to give you two things. Coffee, energy drinks have caffeine in it. And I don't know if I went that far in talking about that last week, but the 16th and on a Monday, they're on the September 16th on a Monday at noon. Beer is a diuretic. Alcohol is a diuretic. Energy drinks, caffeine is a diuretic. So you're going to be getting rid of a lot of the fluids that's in your body when you consume beer or you consume alcohol. Energy drinks, caffeine is a diuretic. Coffee is a diuretic. Anything with caffeine, it's a diuretic. So you're going to be having to consume all that water that you had in your body. So if you start drinking a lot of energy drinks, what happens? You get that big spike. You got to come down because a lot of them are full of sugar, even if you get the diet-free ones, right? So that one's still going to have caffeine in it, and you're going to get rid of all that. You lose 40% of your strength when you're dehydrated, and it takes at least a day and a half to get that back. If you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. If you get that thirst, like I am so thirsty, you're dehydrated. You haven't prepared for the tournament. And I told you guys in last week's podcast how to prepare for that tournament. I don't want to get into it now because I'm trying to run through this stuff pretty fast here. The way I'm going to run this too from now on, I just thought about it today and I thought about it too late, is I'm going to run it where I do an intro at the beginning, kind of tell everybody what I'm doing and what I'm, kind of give everybody updates on Facebook and YouTube and that new channel, that Rumble. And then I'm going to go into different kind of categories. I'm going to go into the tips on how to take care of your bat. And then I'm going to go into another category, 4 different categories about health and nutrition, and then how to working out. What's the best thing to do? And they're going to be little bit tidbits. They're not going to be, I'm going to try to run them like 20 minutes long, 15 minutes long on each one of them. I know I'm already going over on this one, but I was down there for a while. I'm already running into 45, 48, 50 minutes here. Guys, you have these bats, and when it's hot outside, to not leave these bats in your car. And I know that's hard to do whenever you guys are out driving around and you're going to get something to eat. Like I talk about complex carbohydrates, you're going out and get some complex carbohydrates, not simple carbs, not the white carbs. You get the dark carbs, brown rice, sweet potatoes, stuff like that, because you want to go through your whole day. Clem has the pickle juice, Ron. Don't leave your bat in a 100-degree car. It breaks. You got so much stuff that's going on in this barrel, so many layers pushed together, and it breaks down the barrel. It breaks down a lot of the polymers in there, a lot of the rosin. It breaks it down prematurely, shortens the lifespan of your bat. The one thing and the reason, for one, I talked to Leslie, and the next reason is I've had a lot, and I'm gonna kind of bust some people's bubble right here. A lot of those OGs that are like, what are they running into? 4, 7 years old, 8 years old, going on to 8 years old. A lot of those OGs, they didn't take care of those OGs. So I've gotten a few in the last few 6 months, and I know that a lot of those OGs ain't as good as they used to be. For one, they're not fresh. They've been sitting in a garage, and they're sitting in a ball bag. Ball bag's been left in the garage. Ball bag's been left in the back of the truck or left the back of the car. But I do see those bats breaking down a lot. They're more brittle with those OGs. Because guys, if you remember, and I'm gonna kind of stick it in Dudley's right here. If you guys remember, on those OGs, they had a coating on the inside of that bat. And you remember they used to leak right there at the end cap. Well, what happens is that dries up after getting hot, cold, it dries up on that inside, and it actually makes that bat brittle from the inside, because there used to be a black goop on the inside of those OGs, not the 2.0s, but it was on the OGs. That actually helped the bat, at the time, that helped the bat perform. And when you keep that bat in your garage with those temperatures, that bat actually breaks down. I would not take the chance. This is just me. I would not take the chance of getting, for that money, is getting an OG out there. I'm talking about the Dudley OGs, just to let you know. Because anytime you've had a bat that long, it breaks down. because you don't know where the bat's been. So guys, the thing about bats like these, you know, any one of these bats right here, is don't put them in your car. Keep them out. Keep them in your ball bag for one, because that actually helps a little bit if it does have a lot of padding in there. And get them out of the heat, basically. I've done that one. I talked about this one too. I'm gonna kind of go over it here because I don't know when I was cut off earlier. Is the one thing Short Porch is doing is they're gonna match your bat speed to a swing, right? They're gonna match your bat speed to a they're gonna match your bat speed to a bat. And it all ties in because I talk about it being a formula, and Short Porch knows it's a formula. So so what you're doing is you got different senior players out there with this different bat speed. And I'm gonna go into what Charlie told me earlier, and it's kind of makes sense. What we're gonna do with Short Porch is we're gonna have a bat for different bat speeds. Now there's a variance in there, guys, when we're talking, and we know this, right? We're not specifically saying if you have a 50-mile-an-hour bat speed, this bat's gonna fit your swing. What we're saying is you have a 45 to 50, 55-mile-an-hour bat speed, because there's a big gap there, 10 miles an hour. This is gonna be the best bat for you to swing, because the barrel compresses a lot better for you, and the weight distribution numbers are what you were looking for. We're talking about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 ounce end loads. So that's the reason I jumped on board here, because I think like they think, right? So going forward, I think that's the way. I'm not talking about true U-trip bats. I'm talking about senior bats, and I think that's going forward. I think that's what a lot of people are going to start gravitating to. There's another thing too. Is last week there was a podcast going on, and they had one of the reps up there, and he was talking about it's all bullshit. Like he thought it was all just, come on now, they're thinking way too much into it. You know, it's just simple. It's just simple. Whatever bat fits whatever bat feels comfortable in your hands. So you're basically, what you just said is that if a bat feels good, which could be the last bat that I swung, and your weight distribution numbers are the same. Like if you just got through swinging a 17-0 and you got a 9 on the hands, and I happen to give you at a tournament in a booth or in a truck, I give you a 17-ounce end load with 9 on the hands, that bat's going to feel good in your hands, right? But the barrel could be too stiff for you. The handle is going to flex different because you're just taking dry swings. So what they do in these booths, they give you, hey, feel this. It feels good. And you're up there going, whoa, shit. Those are the same. If it feels good to you, those are the same numbers you just got through swinging, either in the game or batting practice last week, because you have that muscle memory, right? So that's what we've been preaching for a long time. So, and Charlie Mueller kind of said it today, and Charlie Mueller brought this up, and I actually had to write it down. We were eating this morning, and I wrote it down. He goes, Dave, this is Charlie Mueller talking. Let's say that you are playing you see a softball tournament, and it's in the finals. You have one bat over there. You have a bat over the company over there that makes one bat, and then you're playing against Short Porch, who has a variety of bats, right? And because you have a variety of bat swings, I'm not talking about your kids. I'm talking about your senior players, 50 and older, AA, AAA. So you have all these guys over here that has different bat speeds ranging from 50 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour. And you got this other company over here that is in the dugout that's swinging their bat, not even matching their bat speed. Who's going to have the advantage? Well, of course, Short Porch is. I'm not saying a big advantage. I'm saying they're going to have an advantage to win that game because they have a bat in their hands that matches their bat speed. And that made totally sense today when Charlie told me that. So I said, I'm going to talk about this in the podcast tonight. And basically that's what Short Porch is trying to do, you know, because every guy out there is not the same. You know, you got your pros and you guy with that 50, 60. Me, I cannot pick up a bat that a pro is swinging and get any kind of performance on it because he's compressing those walls a lot better than I can. So Short Porch with the movement, that's what we're doing. And I hope I explained that better. I wrote something else down. You can't have a guy with a 40-mile-an-hour bat speed and stick a 100-mile-an-hour bat into his hands. It's not going to help him. And basically, that's what you see a lot of teams out there. See, I need to quit going over that and looking at that. See, that's too much. Charlie got me all excited about that. I had to write all that down. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm done with that page. I might go a little over because I'm almost done here. Somebody was asking the other day, and I'm gonna kind of go back and forth here before I get to the bats, but somebody was asking me the other day is what's the best? Yeah, Clem, whatever. I want to talk about, before I get in, and this is part of what I'm going to talk about too. No, I want to talk about that later on when I talk about bats. Well, somebody was asking me that, what is the best exercise that you can do? What is the best exercise you do? I see a lot of these guys exercising, and I cringe because I'm saying that weight that you're lifting there has nothing to do with your swing whenever you're swinging. And they're going to be doing a different type of exercise. And I'm sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. You don't use that muscle when you swing, you know. You use that muscle to look good for the girls, but you don't use that muscle to swing. If you guys notice, I have no chest, right? I have big traps, I got big rear delts, and I got big triceps and big forearms and big legs, right? You may not know that, but I do have big legs, big calves, right? So because you push, I work every muscle that pertains to softball that actually has anything to do with a golf swing, a fast pitch swing, baseball swing, basically is what I do. So I see a lot of these guys out there lifting. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say nothing. You go ahead and do your own shit. It really doesn't, you know, then I got videos out there that actually show you what I do. What is the main exercise? A lot of you guys out there talking, what is the main exercise that I've done in the past that helped me? Where I didn't have access to a gym, and I didn't have access because a lot of you guys up north can't run to the gym and do anything. The main thing that I did is I hit BP, right? And I would hit BP and hit till my hands bled. And if you talk about one exercise that you can do, and it is an exercise, especially when you start swinging a slightly higher weighted bat at the end of the year, because a lot of those guys, and even hitting off a tee. I'm not a big firm believer in tees, guys. I'm really not. I'm not a tee guy. But in the off season, I will grab a tee and hit into a net just to get my forearm strength and just do the pushing movement, because it's not fast pitching. It's not baseball. I think a tee does nothing for somebody that's practicing on where they want to hit the ball and stuff like that. A tee can actually help somebody. When they're tomahawking, because you can set that ball up straight. You can learn that tomahawk swing, which is a downward cut. You can learn that off a tee. I get that, and I do that. I used to do that, right? But a tee is something that you can get your forearm strength. And I'm not talking about a heavy bat. If you swing at 26, go to 27. And just start working those forearms and start hitting off a tee, or take BP with a little higher bat. I'm not talking about during the season. I'm talking about because you should swing it. You should be swinging your gamer during the season to get used to that. You should have a few of them in your bag. 2 or 3 of them in your bag. I do. You ought to see the short porch wig poppers that I have. This is my gamer right here. This one right here, right? It's the OG. This is my gamer, but I have 2 other ones in my bag that I use. I'm going to Colorado, Denver, Aurora, I think it is. And I want to be prepared because I'm anal about that shit. I got to be prepared. So yeah, hitting off of, if you don't have any way to work out, you go out this door right here. Where's it at? You go out this door right here, right over there. You go out that door and I got a gym in there. I've got a lat pull down machine. I've got a row machine, and I've got a bench machine with barbell. I got Olympic plates that I do a workout. I have a workout that I do that in the last month and a half, I've been doing it. And I've gotten a lot of strength. God, you don't understand how working out Just a little bit. I'm 64, gonna be 65 next year. Just a little bit of workout will actually increase your distance. It'll increase that confidence at the plate. You're no longer weak anymore. You're hitting those line drives that actually cut and they go up and they're like a golf shot and they just stay in the air a lot longer. Working out, and I've been lacking on the working out in the last year, and I finally started hitting it again because I'm training for 65s next year. So, and my swing has gotten a lot better, a lot more explosiveness too from my swing, just for a month and a week of working out. So, yeah, working out, if you have that in your gym or you have that in your garage, it's just a few basic movements, guys, and that's all you need. Explosive movements, lighter weight. I don't do heavy anymore. I haven't done heavy in 20 years, 25 years I haven't done heavy. Yeah, I did it in the past, but I don't do it anymore. You can't do heavy at our age. So what I do is the Lou Simmons workout routine. I have my own workout routine too, but I do the Lou Simmons workout routine where it's at 50% of my, in the off season it's 50% of my max, 55, but during the season it's 45 to 50% of my max, and everything closed, everything elbows in, and everything's explosive. Closed grip bench, that's all I do. I don't get my hands out here. No, you don't want to work your chest. Chest has nothing to do. Hammer curls are good. Regular curls are not. Guys, you don't want to shorten this bicep muscle. This bicep muscle, you don't want to shorten that. A lot of you guys out there doing those, don't do curls. Hammer curls. If you're going to do curls, do hammer curls. Core workout, exactly. When you're doing, y'all guys don't understand this either. When you do weights or free weights, you're doing a core workout. Because when you're on the bench, you're laying down, you're compressing your stomach muscles, right? So that's a core workout. And if you can add anything to that you're doing, do that. Anytime you strengthen your core, you strengthen your legs. It's all tied into each other. You got to have big. If you notice that when you hit a lot of balls, your legs start to shake. Class Clem, he hits a ton of balls. Hit a ton of them a day. He got me into that. I want to hit 5 more, and he hit 30 more. Don't get me on Clem. But yeah, legs have a lot to do with hitting. You got to have strong legs. You just can't have strong upper body. You got to have strong legs too. But if you hit a lot, you work those legs. You do. And I know me, because I do belt squats. So with me, with my bad back, I can't do anything that's loaded up on my shoulders. I can do a sled. Now that's another thing too. I can do a sled. And please, I don't want to see another guy out there with those leg extensions. It does nothing for strength. That's a shaping movement, right? It's a shaping. You got to have the mass, and what that does is shape it. It's not going to do nothing for strength. Do either belt squats or do sleds. Take pressure off your back. Yeah, 5 more, Mr. Clem, 5 more. Okay, now got that out of the way. I'm going to talk about 2 things here. I'm going to introduce a lot of these things whenever I'm doing this every Wednesday. And I know I'm gonna kind of run long, but I want to get this out of the way. HGH, human growth hormone. If you want to know about human growth hormone, I am the genius on that. And the reason is because I've been a test subject for human growth hormone 5 years ago. It was before COVID, so it'll be 6 years ago. And I did a 2.5-year long study for human growth hormone. Is a weekly injectable, because human growth hormone you got to take daily. And if you hear anything about human growth hormone does not make you get big. It actually helps you heal faster, and connective tissue gets stronger. Helps with the brain. As we get older, we not only lose testosterone, we lose human growth hormone. The problem is, if you can't get a prescription for it, it is $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month for a kit. And you don't know if the kit's actually legit. A lot of the kits from China are not legit. They're actually fake. And guys, if you got somebody that can get that, if you have an injury, start on human growth hormone. If you got a severe injury, start on human growth hormone. A lot of people have asked me, hey guys, I tore this muscle. How long until I get back? Well, how old are you? 55. I would try to get a, and you don't take it all the time. You just take it to heal. But as we get older, we have diminishing human growth hormone too, along with testosterone. Testosterone is one of the big ones. Human growth hormone added in with that is just huge. You're gonna get healed faster. You guys remember Clemens, Roger Clemens? He he was actually put in with human growth hormone, not so much as testosterone. He was definitely, and you healed a lot faster, Murray. That is some badass shit. A lot of people, the reason you can't get a lot of it now is because Hollywood actually sucks everything up, because it's that youth drug. You know, people take it to actually get the collagen back in their face, or actually look younger than what they are. So it's hard to get. I have a prescription for it, so I can get it. And I paid $30 a month for it, right? I haven't taken it in a while, but I have. There's a prescription for it, and it is some badass shit. It's a daily injectable, inject into the fat of your belly. And it actually makes you heal a lot faster. It makes you recover a lot faster. You're not going to be getting big on it. It's not a steroid, where a lot of people talk about testosterone. With testosterone, is not a steroid. Your body actually produces testosterone. So you're putting something synthetic into your body that your body actually already produces. So get off that shit. Don't sit there and tell me it's a steroid. It's not. And here's the deal too. You want to bring your levels up to optimal level, right? You don't want to bring them like, you hear the doctor say, with testosterone, you hear the doctor say, oh, you got really good testosterone. Well, hold on, for a 65-year-old, 64-year-old? Because I don't want the testosterone of a 64-year-old. I want the testosterone of a 25-year-old, right? All my organs are going to shrink. If you have no testosterone, your organs actually shrink in your body. Your heart which is right? It's muscle, and testosterone can help that. I had cardiologists tell me that, guys, you know, and they kind of lean over and whisper it to me. And guys, I'm not telling you get on this shit. That's nothing. I got to put this in there. Not telling you get on this shit, but if on you guys that really want to heal faster. I know guys that have open heart surgery, right? And they had been zipped. They had a zipper on them and got on TRT, growth hormone, to actually make them heal faster from the heart surgery and the splitting of the chest. And they came back faster. A doc didn't understand. Oh my God, he came back real fast. But they got it black market. You know, I get it regular. I can get it regular. So because I went through that, it took me a year to get on it, because they do all this kind of testing. They actually do they call it a STEM test, stimulation test. So we stimulate the pituitary gland to secrete growth hormone. If it doesn't, and they shoot you up, they check you for 5 hours, every 30 minutes. You have to sit in this chair, and they check you every 30 minutes and see if you're producing growth. And what's up, brother? I don't see any more videos of you. You need to get some shit out there. Not this one-hit wonder shit. You hear me, Derek? Not this one-hit wonder. You got to do some more shit. So yes, I failed it. It's called a STEM test. And if you go in, don't have them check your HGH level. You check your IGF level, IGF-1 levels. That's how you get it tested. And then go through the study, not the study, but go through the testing to actually see if they can give you a prescription for it, because you don't want to pay for that shit, guys. It'll actually make you feel younger. Joints heal. Body heals a lot faster. Cortisone injections, guys. I'm a believer. Not in a lot of them, but I'm talking about if you span them out. They're actually really good for you. I've had them in my wrist. I've had them in my back. I've had them in my neck. I've had them in my knee. I had them in my ankles. I had them, damn near everywhere, except for my shoulders. My wife, I'm trying to get her to get one in her shoulder because she's having trouble with her shoulder. The one thing that you really do need them, and don't think this shit's going to go away, because it's not. You have limited blood supply in your joints, because it's mainly tendon. Prime example, when I tore my Achilles, I popped it. There was no pain. It actually felt like somebody hit me on the back of my ankle, but there was no pain. I walked around. I didn't walk around. I was carried because I couldn't flex that foot up and down, but there was no pain. Well, there's no nerve tendons. There's nothing down in there. It's just a tendon that has no blood supply in it, and it snapped. So if you guys aren't taking anything or injecting anything in that area, and I know I talked about that BPC 157, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here. Talked about BPC 157 last week, and I don't want to keep going after that. I'm going to introduce different things every week that we talk about this, but cortisone injections has actually helped keep me off the operating table for my neck and for my back. because they wanted to cut on me. And I actually got rid of a lot of the information, and I did core workout like Charlie was talking about. I lifted weights to get stronger, and they helped me. But I know how to lift weights now a little different. I don't just go in there and just blow up the gym. And I definitely don't have a chip on my shoulder when I walk into the gym too. I don't try to do more than my body's capable of doing. Let's talk about some bats now. First, I want to talk about this right over here, and I'm actually running pretty good. When we talk about breaking bats in, I kind of want to talk about this a little bit, not a little, but whenever you see guys, like I'm going to tell you right now, the chef Marcus can break a bat in faster and get it there quicker than Fat Guy BP, me, and Jesse. Jesse does a lot of the U-Trip stuff. He has BP Hero. So when him swinging a bat and you have Chef swinging a bat, Chef's going to get it there faster. So that's how come I'm talking about whenever I would say at the beginning, I don't think I really said this with, and I'd always put in there a little asterisk saying that this is with us swinging it. So there's not really a true number on how fast we can get a bat there, right? Because that's with our swings. And I have 8, like today I have 7 different guys swinging one or two, 3 bats, 5 bats, right? So our number is going to be different than what your numbers would be. But Chef's bat speed is, and he cuts the ball, he's going to be getting it there a lot faster than what, you know, me or Fat Guy BP or Jesse would be. So that's another thing too. A lot of the older guys, when they see that, don't just say, okay, it gets there in 150 swings, because these guys with this high bat speed gets it there. You know, I just wish I had the bat speed that Chef has. I wish I still had the bat speed he has. That guy he's a freak. He's one of those guys that he's a freak. And he's out there, and he's got some, but here's the deal about that. He's not out there alone doing it. He has other people helping him do that shit. So that kind of helps him too. And he can just flat out just kill it. I'm done with that. Talk about some bats here. And I want there's a bat coming out, and I want to listen to me when I'm talking, guys, because I've had a few people talk to me about the new whip popper that's coming out, and I will post some pictures on it if I'm allowed to. I got to check with Christian and Leslie and Jeff about if I can post some pictures in the next couple of days about the new bats that are going to be coming out. I want to kind of go over them a little bit here. And the lady, they have a woman bat coming out, a woman's bat coming out, and basically what that is, it's a lower compression starting off, and it should be running around 200, 195, and then it gets there pretty fast, and then it has a lower compression level. So, and we're going to be doing all this stuff too. We're going to be doing compression testing on the ladies' bats too, and I'm going to get those bats to some ladies and have them swinging them, do a lot of video on them too. But guys, this is something that's groundbreaking. Nobody else out there has a ladies bat out there, and Short Porch is bringing one out in the next. And I think the disservice that a lot of bat companies out there have done for the women is not put a bat in their hands that's comparable to their bat speed. Short Porch is doing that. So they're coming out with a bat, and it's called the Cherry Bomb, and it will be out. It's kind of funny, and I think Leslie came up with this word, is girls just want to have fun. And it kind of makes sense that I'll tell you, Tony, I'll talk about that later, or message me on the side. I went to my doctor. I went to my diabetes glandular. Go to, God, there's a name for it, man. I can't think of it right now. I'm about burnout. There is a doctor out there you can get it through. I'll think of it in a minute or later on. So basically it's called the Cherry Bomb. Girls just want to have fun. Leslie came up with that little word right there. And that will be out. It's basically a lower, I want to swing that bat because I'm a slapper too, and I want to see what it will do for those seniors out there that slap the ball. Because the ball exit speed, when you have a lower compression bat, especially the way they're building this one, you can slap it and it's going to go, for me, I'm not talking about for the ladies. For the ladies, they can just rear back and just rip it. And it's that, hopefully, You know, hopefully, I think if we can get, I want to swing that bat. Hopefully it'll fit a lot of the guys with that diminishing bat speed out there, their numbers too. So when you see me swinging a girl's bat in the next 6 months, don't be surprised, because it actually might fit my swing. But I'll test it out and I'll let you guys know about it. But I think for the first time, you know, hitting that women's market, I think that's going to help out the ladies out there pretty good. Player model coming out either this week or next week. These are bats, you know, the ladies' bats should be here before Vegas. And guys, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong here, you know, because I'm kind of wrote everything down here. We have a bat, and I cannot wait to get this bat that's coming out in Clem's hands, because I just see him commenting. Yeah, Cherry, you don't. No, you don't, Clem. Is the player model Brandon Murray, and it's got a 1 ounce end load, Clem. That bat will be out, I think, next week, 10 days, I think, from now. I think what they have it scheduled 7 to 10 days from now. I think we should hear a lot more about it. Guys, I'm not giving you specific dates because don't know, but they're coming out soon. There's going to be 2 different bat deliveries, maybe 3 by the time we get into Vegas. And there's going to be 1 in Vegas, a bat delivery to Vegas and Short Porch that'll actually cover a lot of this. The player model bat, it's called a Brandon Murray 1 ounce end load. The new wig popper, and I'm gonna kind of go through these pretty fast. The new wig popper that's coming out, and this is one thing a lot of you guys got misinformation on. Testing on the brand new wig popper with that softer barrel's through the roof. It's through the freaking roof on this bat. This is the bat that I cannot wait to swing that's coming in. It's 12-inch barrels. Typically, it's the 3rd anniversary or the 2nd anniversary. It's the 3rd year. So whenever I say the 3rd anniversary, it's the 3rd year of the wig popper. Remember, they came out with the red one, then they came out with the white one, and now this one right here. I do like the graphics on it. That bat has a little bit softer barrel. Now, let me explain. Whenever I did not go into this last week, but I want to go into it now when I talk about softer barrels. A compression tested softer. If you guys seen my compression testing today, the original wig popper compression test at 225. This is compression testing at 205. Starting compression testing at 205. So what they're talking about, because they've swung them, the prototypes, and what they're talking about, that bat will get you there faster. So you're talking about hot out of the wrapper, which you guys know me, know that, you know, I would love to get a bat there faster than what the previous models do. So that's any bat company, right? So anytime, yes, there you go, game ready. So it's compression testing at 205. So it's going to get there a lot faster, right? And how low with that compression, I already know the numbers, but I'm not going to say them. But I'm excited about that bat. So a lot of you guys were saying maybe you ought to look at the girls about swinging that bat. I agree 100% on those higher bat speed girls. So that will fit in right into them, plus me with that medium bat speed to medium high bat speed. And we'll see how that goes. But just to give clarification on what I was talking about last week, was I said that barrel gets soft. It gets a little bit softer. Compression testing starts off at 205, and then it goes down pretty quick to your numbers that you want to get there at 170, 175, basically is what it's going to do. So, but we'll see. That's another thing too. Just stay tuned when we're doing the live videos, and you guys can see the performance on those bats right there. On that wig popper, I want to get, and this has nothing to do, and I think Short Porch, the bats that we make at Short Porch are actually getting higher than these numbers. But in theory, I want to get a bat that's gonna last 300 swings. I want a top tier bat. And I've told you this, guys. You can go back and look at video. Well, you can't go back and look at videos because I took them down. But I want a bat that's going to last 300, 350, 400. If I can get 400 out of a top tier bat, I am happy as shit. I really am. Because the one thing you have to understand, a lot of top tier bats, a lot of bats they're not going to perform like the OGs did. Those are gone, guys. You don't think about the OGs or the 2.0s on the Dudley part, because those are gone. Those will never be done. I mark my words, that bat will never, for two different reasons, that bat will never be produced again. They made a mistake by producing that bat. It will never be. And do they know how to make it? Yes, they do. But it will never be done again. So those days are over with, those 1,000 swings. You know, if I can get 300 off me, if I can get 300 off me, I'm happy. Because I can carry 2 or 3 bats around, right? I can carry that through the whole year. 2 bats mainly with me through the whole year. So I think those dates, those numbers are over with. So if I can get those, the wig poppers, I was going to get rid of that. The wig poppers that I'm getting are getting, with my swing, 600 swings. Had one crack the other day at 600 swings. I got one at 800 swings. Hell, I got one that I want to use. It's got a little bit of a shark tooth in it. It's got striations all in it. And I want to use this in a game. That ain't it. And that ain't it. Now, where did I put that bat? Oh, there it is. This bat right here, this got a shit ton of swings on it. I don't think it'll pass, though. But I love this bat. Okay, those videos you see me hitting, this is with this bat right here. You hear the sound this bat makes? Oh. So if I can get 300, 400, I'm happy. I'm ecstatic when it gets 500, 600. Another thing too, and this is something that you guys really, if you're going to listen to anything that I talk about, you guys got to listen to this. Too many of you guys out there give up on bats because you take them out, you swing them. If they don't perform, then you throw them. If they don't give you 100 swings into it, you throw them or you sell them, right? And that could be a top tier bat, you know, but you still get rid of them because you're not breaking that bat in. Guys, do not give up on bats. I see a lot of seniors out there that give up on bats because they don't want to put in the time of breaking that bat in. And I know it's hard, man. I know it's hard to get out, especially you guys up north. I know it's hard for you guys. I'm not talking about California. I'm not talking about Florida. I'm not talking about Texas, Arizona, right? I'm not talking about those guys. Even Louisiana. I'm talking about the guys that are up north. Guys, stay with your bat. Get it broken. Get the striations in it. You can see them. Take it out in the sun. Look at it. You know, and make sure they're already all down the barrel. If they're far apart, make sure you get them within that close to each other. If they're far apart, it's still not broke in. You got to get them where they're like all those striations are really close to each other and going up and down the bat. Because they have the same numbers on them, Adam. Probably right. They have the same, because you swing your wig pop. He's talking about his wig popper for the game, and then he swings his pickle juice on BP. The one thing about short porch too is guys are making the weight distribution numbers the same as their U-trip bats and their senior bats. So pick a bat, and we're going to come out with those numbers later. Just give us some time on the weight distribution in that pickle juice or their U-trip bats, and swing those in games, you know, and then go and then in your swing those in your BP, and then when your games, pick up your senior bat to swing. You'll find out that that'll battle last you a year and a half, you know, depending on your bat speed too. So make sure, guys, you break your bats in. That's the biggest problem that I see with seniors out there, is they think this bat doesn't perform. I picked up bats that are, I'm bullshitting here. I picked up bats when I first started swinging it, and I didn't like it. But I noticed when I got 200 swings into it, I fell in love with the bat because those walls were compressing for me. That's how bat review people are so important, to actually tell you, hey, it gets there. It got me there in 200 swings. It got me there in 300 swings. But just stay with it, and you'll find out that, dude, you don't. That's the reason that one of those that wig popper didn't last as long as I wanted it to, because I fell in love with it. And I noticed that I would pick up a new one and I'd hit it, and I wasn't even getting close to the performance I was getting on the broken one. So stay with the bat and just swing it, hit it. Do anything you can to get those to open up. Give it to a younger guy, younger senior, have them beat it up a little bit for you, you know, and make sure that they hit 52, 300 balls. That's another thing too. I get so frustrated when I watch all these people. Well, hey, we're hitting this in California. That 44 575 was it, or 52 525. That ball that's sanctioned, that tournament down in California, you guys hitting. You know the damage you're doing to that bat. You know, and these bat companies are like, oh no, you can swing that. Yeah, they want you to crack your freaking bat. That ball does so much damage. That 525 compression ball, 52 525, 44 525, I forget what it is, the bottom number is. But guys, so much damage you're creating. Then you get pissed because they're cracked in 100 swings. And you start trashing the bat company you bought it from. This bat guy, 100, what kind of balls were you hitting? You know, were they old balls? Were they new balls? Were they California balls? Were they a tournament that you shouldn't have been swinging in, this bat in? You know, oh no, you don't talk about the damage it does to the bat. If you give your bat to a 100-mile-an-hour guy, and he pull out the wrapper, and he's just going to start whack, just hitting freaking, it's going to destroy that bat. The longevity on that bat, it shortens the lifespan of the bat. Break it in right, hit spinners. We do it all. We did it today. Hit spinners on our first round. Guys were picking up, letting it rest, but the guys were picking it up, and they got a little system. My guys got a little system they go through. We haven't stopped that. Since we stopped doing bat reviews, we haven't stopped that system. We hit spinners first round, first one round and a half, and we take half cuts. It's our warm-up cuts, right? Unless you get Clem out there. So I have one other thing to talk about, then I'm out of here. And I'll talk about all these new bats coming out next week. But I'm into it quite a long time. I'm almost gonna be an hour and a half. And I think I'll finish on this. The one thing that I love about doing what I'm doing right now, and we did get some of these in the past, but they were just basically sent to us and asking questions about them, is the R&D part of this. And I did tell you guys about a month ago that after they get swinging them and they get all the numbers and the hit tracks that they want to get, Christian is actually definitely, heavy balls do too. I tell you what I do too, guys. Christian just brought it up. I weigh my balls. That's another thing too. My BP balls. I actually, because they do get damp. Every once in a while they'll get damp and we'll hit them in the morning. And I try to get them cleaned off and get them put away as fast as I can. We hit one round and then we go and pick them all up because I have like 7 bags of balls. So we're not out there picking them up and bringing them back. So anytime you get dampness on a ball, it actually creates moisture and it can make that ball heavier. There's so many things that can make that ball heavier too. But guys, weigh the balls. If you're really, you know, the lighter ball is better. If the ball gets too heavy, we kick them out. You know, we'll just sit there and randomly go through a ball bag, and I have my scale here, and I'll just weigh them and weigh them and weigh them. And then I'll kick out the ones that are too heavy because they will destroy. And doing the bat reviews, we had to do that. You know, we're giving out false information when it comes to about doing bats. We do the same thing. It's something we've been doing for 15 years, and we do the same thing now. So the one thing about Christian, whenever they do all of their research, because these guys, these brainiacs, Christian being one of them, these brainiacs up in Savannah, Georgia, they start doing these testing on these bats and this hit track, and they start talking about polymers and talk about rosins and carbon. Then they sent them to me. I got my first one today, and I'm excited because this is something that's different. And I'm telling you guys about short porches. You know, they just weren't going to stay stagnant, right? They weren't going to stay stagnant. And then because they got me in there, they just weren't going to rely on just next year's shit. They're already moving on different types of things. So I got this bat today, and I want to talk about it a little bit. And it is the one thing, I'm not going to talk about what they did to actually, because it doesn't have any writing on it. And this is it right here, right? This is the bat right here. It has a thinner handle. It has a thinner handle. Not saying a lot thinner. It's a thinner handle. The knob is different, right? if you guys see that. The knob is different too. It doesn't have any marking writings on it. But the one thing that brought my attention to it is the way these guys build things. And I can't say we yet. Maybe next year I'll say we. The way these guys build things is a little different than everybody else. So, and it's the way they, this is Kevlar. This is their first ever Kevlar bat. So it's not made like the old Kevlar bats were made. Like, remember Dudley's came out with that Kevlar, and people started kind of messing around with that Kevlar. So this is their first Kevlar bat. I just got this today. We haven't swung it. I am excited. I want to go out. No, my guys are leaving this weekend on a tournament, and I'm not going. So I was kind of like, I want to hit this bat so bad because it is just the way it sounds is. And if I want to give you some numbers here, if you read it, it says Clem cannot swing this bat, and they said it has, what was it, 100 swings? It's got 100 cuts on it. Compression tested at 200 with 100 cuts on it. It is Kevlar, guys. It's got a thin handle. So this is new technology that is going forward, coming out from these guys, and that's the reason I love them so much, is because they come out with, every couple of weeks they're coming out with different shit that they can actually try. I will be hitting that bat next week on Tuesday. I'll be hitting that bat on probably Wednesday again, or Thursday again. We hit today because it rained yesterday. So guys, I'm excited about this bat, and I'm just gonna go, they haven't told me much about it though. They just told me, I said, man, you got a thin handle on this damn thing. I like that, you know, and it actually looks, although it's not painted, but you see what I did here? I wrote that on there today. That's my signature. So I kind of messing with the guys, and I go, look at my next bat for next year. And because this one is already being made for this year. So I love Kevlar, because it's just a different, I've loved it for years. That's a different type of material, carbon that they're putting in there. But yeah, I cannot wait to swing this next week and let you guys know what we think about it. But that's the reason I love doing this job, man. It's freaking, because of this, I'm a bat freak. That's another thing too, is when I get new shit like this, I cannot wait to just get out. And we've hit 2 days in a row already. 3 days, 2 days this week. Actually, 1 day this week, 2 days last week. And I lifted 3 days in a row. So yeah, I cannot, my body's telling me no, but I want to get out and hit that thing tomorrow, even if it's in the cages. And I did my weigh-in numbers on it too. It's got 16.5 on the end and 9.5 on the hands, which is a little higher. So I'm thinking it's a 1/4 ounce end load is what I'm looking at. It's one of those 1/4 ounce end loads, and they did that on purpose. So I don't ask them, and they just send it to me and go, tell me what you think about it. So we'll be hitting that thing next week, let you guys know. But I like the Kevlar sound, and even the thin handle. I mean, that is thin. All right, guys, I'm done. A lot of good things. I'm gonna kind of go back to that video that got cut off, and I'm trying to find out where I ended it on, and hopefully I got that rant out when I was talking about other shit in there at the beginning, and I kind of went off on a rant, and then Clem's he shut off at 20 minutes into it. I'm like, oh man, I've been talking about a lot of shit. Guys, I'll see you again. We're done for the week because my guys leave out of town tomorrow. They got a tournament up north. A few of my guys do. And then next week, we're going to hit it again on Tuesday, and I'll see you guys then. Thanks, guys.